Hey guys, it's your boy Osofo B from the Collective AU. This episode talks about the pressures that we go through as young people when trying to convince our parents about our dreams and aspirations, and then looking at their views and how we meet right in the middle. So come, stay tuned, watch us on the Collective AU.
I call up the squad and we roll, Charlie. Hey, Charlie. I call up the squad and we roll, Charlie. Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. I call up the squad and we roll, Charlie. Roll up with the squad, we so wild. You know I keep.
To what extent does your parents' definition of success affect your own dreams and aspirations? What are we saying on that one?
I think it depends on what your parents already have in store for you. Because when you're younger, let's just say, when you're younger, your parents already have a goal or a vision of where they want you to be. Like, let's just say a doctor, a lawyer, someone who's like with a high pay grade. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Or of education, high education.
Yeah, high education. But for yourself, like, the older you get, you realize what you really want to do. You might not necessarily want to be like a doctor. You're not fit for that. You know what I mean? You want to be a construction worker or like not even a construction, like a cabinet maker, let's just say. You know, you want to drop out in year 10, you want to go TAFE, you want to start your own business. But to them, it's like, in the Ghanaian household, I'd say, it's like, I ain't, like, why? You should go complete your school, go to uni, go get a degree, and then you can go live your life or go find a job that you studied in. But to you, it's like, that's not what you want to do.
Yeah.
But then again, because they're your parents, it also brings some sort of fear.
You don't want
You don't want to disappoint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, now you're obliged to like,
to live up to that standard.
Exactly. You have to go and live up to the standard, not necessarily because you want to, it's because there's I don't know the word for it. There's a expectation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like for that, like where you draw the line is probably when you stop being yourself. If that makes sense. So, like, they want you to be a lawyer, for example. Yeah, you go to uni, you realise uni's not for you, but you're still forcing it. You're stressing over assignments, you're stressing over exams, and you're sort of, people lose themselves. Like, but this is not like I want to. Or even the people that surround themselves with their friends doing plumbing, he's working, he's got the latest Mercedes, and I'm still driving around in some crap Camry. When we both finished school at the same time. Someone's gone forward, someone's gone back, and like. Hey, I went back. But yeah, like it just when you sort of start to lose yourself, that's when you realize, okay, bro, that's why I should draw the line and be like, okay, enough's enough. I have to start doing what I want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's my sort of.
I reckon sometimes because of that pressure that we get from our parents, I think we realize too late when we're already in.
True, because by the time you finish school, by the time you finish school and uni. You're 22, 23 at youngest. Yeah. So you've already entered the adult. Yeah. Yeah, I get you. Whereas that sort of 3 years after school, if you compare yourself to your mates, someone's gone a bit further than what you have, and you're still in the same.
And then you're stuck. You're in 2 minds. Like, I'm halfway doing what I need to do, or halfway finished.
I might as well finish it.
Or I can stop doing what I'm doing now and do what I really want to do.
But then
you feel like it's too late.
It's too late. You know what I mean?
But it also, I think it also comes down to like what you said at the start. You said what your parents have in store for you, but I'd say it in a way of what your parents have stored for you, because there's other people out there where, for example, their dad owns a construction company already. So you growing up, he's gonna teach you that this is what you have to do because this is a family company, family business. So you might want to be a lawyer, but because of the virtue of it being a family business, you grow up saying to yourself, I want to run my dad's company, and now that's what you end up doing.
But isn't that easier? Because if you know that
that's all you've known since you've been grown.
Like let's just say,
so I think that's easier. Yeah.
Like you have there's fathers out there who are cab drivers, right? But they want their sons to be lawyers, right? Now, I've just the the situation, it'll be easier to get your son, to teach your son the way of a cab driver than to teach your son the way of a lawyer when you don't really know anything about being a lawyer.
Well, why would they want that for you?
Exactly. Like,
they've come from Ghana to here to give us a better life.
no, I know, but what I'm saying is, it's just easier to teach them the way that you know.
Because
So like you
familiar
were
with
saying,
it. Yeah.
because
I
if,
get what
let's
you're
say if I
saying.
have a construction company and I have a son, it's easier for him to know the way of becoming, or to owning a construction company.
Because he knows the ins and outs.
Exactly.
Yeah. From
Because
mostly
information to him.
experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because when you go to uni to go do a different degree,
Yeah.
you're now venturing on something like it's foreign land. You know,
Yeah.
no one's really done it unless you've got older siblings or older people that.
Yeah.
But even that, unless they're your family, bro, they'll probably tell you the truth as to what the ins and outs of the actual thing is. Yeah, I get ya.
I think for me, like, when I was starting, like, kind of finished high school and starting uni, I think for me it was a bit, like, I was kind of caught in those lines, what to do next, because I was, like, caught between what I really want to do, and is it what my parents have been saying that's actually just kind of going in my mind and making me what I want to do, was actually what I want to do. And so when I started my law degree, bro, I hated it. At the beginning, I just hated it. I was like, bro, I feel like I'm doing this for my parents to some extent.
Burden.
I feel like,
burden.
but then as I went along, I realized that personally, I actually like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just because I was caught in that, like, kind of mindset that is it them or is it me?
But
then when I realized it was me. But then I can understand that, like, with other people, you know, even little things like when you're going through like primary school, high school, you get to like 11 and 12, you want to drop out from math. And your parents are like, in Ghana, we don't, you know what I mean? And then it becomes, you gotta do it, whether you like it or not.
By force.
This is, you know what I mean? By fire, by force, by force, by fire. It's kind of that mindset.
Yeah.
So I think, like, in that sense, I feel like it starts from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, I was saying, your parents come from a different place. Like migrant parents, not even just Ghanaian or African, like migrant parents. They come from a different place, probably less advantage there. They come here, they want the best for their kids. But then the blurred line is what the thing is, that what's the best for your kids? Is that really what's best for your kid?
Yeah.
Or is that what's best for you to see?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we go into other things like, you know, how they kind of like the prestige and how they'll feel after it's coming.
Oh,
So
my son,
I think
this and that, like,
My son's a
pretty
my
much.
son,
Well, pretty much, I think you've said it pretty well. They want what's best for their kids. I heard something just recently, which actually was like, you know how we work, and then obviously we get money, and obviously some of it gets put away for superannuation, pretty much so we can enjoy. I feel like our parents, we are essentially, when they came here, they invested in us, so we're essentially their superannuation.
Exactly.
So,
that's right.
so in terms of us being their superannuation, they investing so much in us. So what they see and what they know, of course, is generally a path of maybe security or more money, and that's what they want to push you all towards. And I think every parent wants their child to do better than they did.
That's
of
right.
course, yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, in regards to that, no, I mean, they will obviously have their dreams and have what they think is the best for you and push it towards you because they want you to do better. They want you to be secure, and they don't also necessarily want you to go through what they went through at times, so that you can, you know, live your life well. The conflict and the battle is, at the end of the day, there are kids maybe being pushed into things that doesn't fit. Okay, and that's when the conflict lies, and then that's when you got to sometimes essentially choose: is it a sort of internal fulfillment, or is it we're trying to fulfill external pressures?
I think to push it a step further, and even touching on what a few boys said, this comes down to dreams and aspirations. And I think in a holistic sense, you can only dream. Well, they always say that when you dream, like actual dreaming, like when you go to bed and all that kind of stuff, is based on stuff that you've seen during the day. So in a holistic sense, you can only dream what you see. So them coming from a quote unquote third world country, when they got to dreaming, they were dreaming what they saw. So back home, bankers were the ones that were making money.
That's right.
Lawyers were the ones that were making money. Doctors were the ones that were making money. So the the more physically required jobs, like plumbing and all that kind of stuff, wasn't what was making money by their world standards. But when you come here, the ability to dream is changed for all of us, because now what we see is that people who are plumbing can make money. The people who are taking photos can make more money than someone who's a banker. Exactly. So the opportunity, the definition of the word opportunity is flipped on its head here. So where the conflict comes or the friction comes is where they are coming with their own dreams based on what they've seen has worked. And now we're coming with our own dreams of what we're seeing is working. Because at the end of the day, we're in a totally new timeline, totally new society, whereby, so it's more of like a conflict of, it's a conflict of whose dream is bigger, if that makes sense. Their dream of you being big, and now your dream of being big. Now the question comes: how do you make it to be big?
Is that your question now?
No, it's not my question. That's what. Yeah, that's the question that it boils down to. Because now everyone, because your parents obviously want the best for you. They want you to make it. They want you to be great. Because if not for anything, they're looked after if you make it. You want to be great by your own standards. You want to be great so you leave a legacy. But now the question comes: how do you actually achieve that or make that a reality? And with them, banking, lawyer, doctor, that's how that gets you there. There's a secured pay, there's a secured job.
Security.
They can only move up so far. You know what I mean? But then I feel like, to what you're saying, we're seeing the dream as bigger. You know, you got people trying to open businesses. You got people trying to like merge with other companies and do things that are bigger, which for them, stop that side job, bro, and just focus on that.
Not even that. Imagine going to like say to your parent, "Oh, I want to be a gamer."
You want to be a what?
A gamer.
You want to be a what? That's what they'll tell you.
Yeah, of course. But like, gamers make millions. Like a crazy amount of money just sitting there on a device.
Sit on computer. Sit on computer.
And you tell your parent that. Yeah, like
I'm a professional gamer.
Yeah,
I'm a professional gamer. You wouldn't be game enough to come to have that conversation with your parents.
But it's one of those things where you can't tell them you're gonna do it.
You just do it.
When you're doing it and you're killing it, that's when.
But it's
a bad day of a game style.
But
is that
is that being disobedient?
Yeah.
To an extent, yes.
It is
when you do it.
Not necessarily.
To an extent, yes.
It is. But you're putting yourself first in a way. Like you're not being disobedient to the point where you're ignoring what their advice is. You're going the wrong way. You're doing it, but you're doing it because it's in the best interest of yourself.
Do you know why that's right? Because it's almost like coming back to the whole like path of getting somewhere. If they've come from another country and they're coming from -0, it's not even that they're coming and they're starting from nothing. They're starting from -nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
So if they started.
On you, they've done an amazing job.
Exactly. Shout out to all the mums, dads, parents, everyone.
Big man things.
Exactly. So the fact that like they've started a path, I guess where the disobedience or the annoyances come or frustrations with us is like, we've made a path for you. Why don't you use that? We're giving you building blocks. Why use Parramatta Road if I've already built the M7?
Yeah.
Come on, why are you going left when you
exactly?
Sometimes you gotta save money, aka X.
That's right. Yeah, they built it. They've essentially built a path for you. I mean, as you said, like it's not always straightforward. I think disobedience. When you someone touched on a point on disobedience. I think parents' roles change. So, for me, it should change. Okay, when you're young, they should be able to tell you do this. I mean, they can be that
direct.
Yeah, direct, and then also you have to listen to them. But I think as you get older, their parents' role or how they approach certain situations should be out of advice, because we start to make to make our own decisions. And the thing is, we are creating lives for ourselves. So. In terms of, I'm not a parent, but it would be something that I would like to do for my kid one day, is that when you need to tell them what is wrong and what you can pretty much, how to control what they do at a certain age. When they get to a certain age, you just advise them. If they don't listen to you, that's fair.
But the thing is, bro, as well, Like,
I don't. Why? Yeah. I don't mind laughing.
Why laughing?
I don't mind laughing. I have kids, man.
Hey, the people back in Ghana, if this guy has kids, please put in the comments that he's got a kid.
Hey, man. But anyways, still good. What you gonna say? You even forgot what you were saying.
Made me forget what I was gonna say.
Alright, so do you know what? I think I'll ask everyone a question here, and to you that are watching, you can drop your comments and your thoughts in the comments.
Sorry. Before you ask this question, I just remember what I was gonna say. With their parents here, like I said before, they've been like even to this day, like hey, I will talk to you later. But their parents, they're still being told what to do by their parents.
That's right.
That train line hasn't ended. So for them to change, which let's be honest, they're not going to change.
Never.
It's get to the point where they're not going to change. So I feel like we need to just take it on the chin sometimes, nod your head, yes man, no down.
I think it becomes more down to parenting style. Back home, the parenting style is a lot different to here.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But they're still the same.
You have to understand that they haven't. It's not even they haven't, but what I'm
That's
saying
been
is
continued.
they will never migrate to this system. So we have to adapt with them.
That's where the truck comes into play.
But the thing is, we've tried so much. Like going back to this whole thing about the succession and all this thing, what they were told was this is what you got to do. So they come here, they put the roadmap.
Yeah.
You got to do this.
But then again,
what you're trying to say is, well, look, I don't want to hear. You have to understand, and they're like, no.
We gotta understand as well. There's a point where we gotta understand that their parenting style, because it's passed down, it's fit for that environment.
True, it's fit for Ghana.
But who did you go tell your mom and dad that? Bro?
No, but like then again, like you just gotta. It's like you gotta think. Like it's not something you're gonna go and tell them. Like hey, like why are you saying?
You can tell them, bro. You can tell them.
Last time I tried that, I was living at my brony's house. I'm not coming anymore. I passed that 10.
I think essentially, as someone has already said, our parents, once they see that you're doing it, and then you're doing well, and then it works, then
but the thing is, they won't congratulate you on
that. They won't stop. I think every parent, even though if you want to do rapping, if you want to do whatever, if you have a plan and you're working hard towards it, and the plan may not be the best plan, right? But if you have a plan,
plan for them,
whatever. But the thing is, the fact that they know you're committed to something, you're working hard towards it. If it fails, you learn and experience and you grow. But some parents are not willing for their children to fail or to learn, because they just don't want that for them.
Because of how they've worked to put you somewhere.
So, but I think in life,
but something that has to be applauded though. Ultimately, your parents want the best for you.
Well, that's love.
Yeah, they may be rigid, but someone may say that's tough love.
Of course.
But you can push that step further. But I feel like we're pushing it aside as if like it's not something that when we have our own kids we wouldn't be implementing. You'd be a bit more, of course. We would be a bit more. Yeah, we may be a bit more open-minded as to what they want to do and a bit more embracing of other stuff. But we'll still be a bit rigid as to them like
because of our experiences. Yeah. But I don't think we'll be that strict to that extent because of
the framework will be there, but
it will be contingent to today's society.
That's it,
bro.
Essentially,
it's very
contingent is to adapt to.
Yes, I had a question.
You want to ask me that?
No,
Let me take the money out.
I think a question that I think we can all answer, I want all of us to answer, and you at home can answer as well, is like, have you ever found yourself compromising on your own dreams just to align with your parents' vision?
Let me get it. Speak my mind.
I think
I just finished high school. My parents wanted me to become what this guy became, a lawyer. Obviously started studying like legal studies. Hated it. Was good at it. Hated it. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do construction. Ended up getting into uni, and then I was working for a company called Kirby. Me and my friend, and we were doing very good. We got offered to do the business from his brother. So his brother was looking after his little brother, who was my best friend, and I thought that was a good opportunity. I saw the money was coming in. I started dressing a bit. Had some polo shoes on. So I could see myself going somewhere with it. So obviously came home, told my mom. Mom was like, "Look, I want you to do it. when it came to the old man, the guy didn't think the opportunity was there. But when I presented the plan to my mother, she saw the opportunity, the avenue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So me being Gaga, obviously decided to go try it, and then I ended up living somewhere else only because he held me back. He held me back. But I was so passionate about it. If I was to fail, be my parents and let me fail, like you were saying, Kelvin, and then and build me back up again. But that opportunity got hindered for me.
Yeah,
it became a very, very, very big thing. I had to go sit down with my grandma, like with family members, to be like, come home. Like, what are you doing? But no one could say from my perspective, and I understood where they the opportunity they'd given me. So just let me try one avenue. If it doesn't work, let me try another one. If anything, it shows that your son's trying to be has an entrepreneurial sort of characteristic about him. You know what I mean? If I fail, it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna persevere in life. Allow me to fail and just be my parents and hold me up. This country is amazing. You know what I mean? It's not like back home, but.
Funny they say that. I think I put up a post the other day. It's like by A$AP Rocky, it literally goes about what he's saying. It's like, why are you what is it saying?
Come and quote A$AP Rocky and Kanye.
No, it was saying like, we're always putting people down just for trying.
Okay.
So like I'm just paraphrasing. Just putting people down for trying. Like why are we putting them down when we should like lift anything? Like you're trying. Oh, good on you. Like
keep trying.
See how you fail. You fail. Don't worry. Like
if anything, fail. That's where success comes in. I think with failure.
I
think the only way you can be successful
is fail.
You have to fail. If you haven't failed, then you're not successful. That's successful.
Successful people in the world have failed. You know what I mean?
100%.
We didn't say my start test, no, it came from one light bulb in his head.
Right, even McDonald's, the guy in his it wasn't Coke. Sorry, the Coke where he sold. I think he sold one bottle or something for the first year or a couple years before the second year it blew up. I can't remember which one, Coke or McDonald's, but yeah.
Junior, I thought you were gonna share your experience.
No.
Time.
Nah, sorry, this was good enough.
You chat, bro. I haven't heard you talk too much, bro.
I talked about M7 and Parramatta Road.
I was going to share my experience as well. I was going to get a bit deep.
Share.
Bigots.
Dig it out, fam. Like with me when I was finishing year 12, sometimes, like you were saying, sometimes when you listen to your parents, not listening, but sometimes when your parents say something to you and then you want to prove them wrong, it helps in a way. Because so with my situation, when I was finishing high school, I didn't want to go to uni. I wanted to go and be an electrician, because at that time I think my sister was in uni and we never really spoke about how she was going with uni, so I didn't really see uni. I didn't really see the reality of what uni was. I didn't know what uni was. Brother didn't go to uni. No one else around me went to uni. So it was like, bro, what am I going to do in uni? I didn't know what uni is. So I wanted to be an electrician. And then my dad took me to go and enroll for the army. Literally. So that day he took me because he said, there's no point wasting your time. Just go and enroll in the army, go and do your years, you get a house, you get all this stuff. So the day he took me to Parramatta, the enrollment office in Parramatta, the barracks. I went and did my test, passed the test.
Wow.
The lady told me to come back the next day and they'll give me a piece of paper that has all the answers on it, and you will sit and do a written test, but the answer's already there. So all you do is just fill it out and you're in.
Conscription.
Huh?
That's different.
No. So pretty much you fill it out. So pretty much I'm already in. They've accepted me because you can't fail that test. They give you the answers. So that next day,
you failed.
Nah. I got a train, went to Parramatta, and I didn't go. And then I told my dad I failed. I didn't go.
So is this the first time he's hearing that you failed?
If he watches it. So anyway, I got home, I told him I failed, and then he said to me, go back, because I think he already knew that they give you the answer. So he's like, go back and do it again because you want to be nothing. You have to do this because there's nothing else for you to do. So when he said that to me, I told him, listen to me, I'm going to make something out of myself, and I'm not going to come to you about it. Whether I'm in uni, anything like that, I'm not going to come to you, and at the end of it, I'll come to you and I'll tell you.
I know you said to him.
Yeah, I
said it to your dad like that.
Yeah, like that. So and that's the reason why I enrolled in, because Francis had just come from Ghana at that same time, and he went and enrolled into TAFE and did business. I didn't want to do business, but I needed to do something just to prove him wrong. So I enrolled into business, and from business, that was an advanced diploma into uni.
What are you doing now?
And then now I'm doing social science.
Okay, so even on that last point that you said just to prove him wrong. So at times, how many times are we, or what is the justification, or where do we find the line between us actually pursuing something and realizing that maybe it's not for us, and just trying to prove our parents wrong because they said we can't do it? Does that make sense? Because see how you said this, your dad came with obviously a bit of negativity, and so just to prove him wrong, you're going down this other path. Do you think at times there was parts whereby you felt like you were actually going down a different path because you wanted to, or it was just to prove him wrong? Like, what was the driving force between you going down another path?
To be honest, for me, it was purely just to prove him wrong. But in all honesty, I feel like there was a sense of God at work there, because I honestly didn't want to go to uni. I didn't want to go to uni, and I definitely didn't want to do business. But it happened to be at that right time, my brother had come from Ghana, and he was going to go do business in TAFE, which was an advanced diploma. So I was like, because now I need to prove him wrong, I need to do something.
So right now, are you still doing it to prove him wrong?
No, now, like, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said I feel like it was God, because now I actually have passion for social work. And that's how I ended up.
Maybe you had to go, that's what, like, that's also because it's not business.
Yeah, and it also because it's not business.
Administration.
Maybe that's what
Yeah, because if I continued business, I would have been like,
you had to go through that to find out.
Yeah,
to find
Which is that's your mistake, or that's your experience that you've gone through to learn.
What you're quote unquote, like to say you failed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And you bounced back.
Then I bounced back.
Okay, so I'll flip it this time.
Flip the script.
Now when you just said what's it called? What was your last point that you just said?
You put this guy on the spot.
Wait,
that
was the point where you failed and then you bounced back. You took that avenue.
Yeah. I didn't fail. There was no fail, but
that's why I said
you get what he's saying.
That's why
I don't fail.
So to an extent, in that bouncing back, why do we feel, because some of this, like proving him wrong and all that kind of stuff, if we don't nip those feelings in the bud and kind of like work on them quickly in its early stages, it turns out to be resentment that you hold against your parents and all that kind of stuff in the long term. And you'll find that even when you've made it and you're successful, your feeling of success is derived from the fact that you just proved your parents wrong, and that's why you're happy. And it's not actually true success. And so now, like, how can we blame our parents?
Hit the nail on the head.
For the constructionists, you have to give them.
You have to give them theory.
They cut it like
the butt makes
you cut it short.
So that one, you don't understand that one either. I said,
what were you saying?
Yeah. So the point I'm trying to get to is, why do we feel like there's that miscommunication or frustration between us and our parents, just for them, quote unquote, showing that they love us by taking us down this path? Because from us who are younger looking up, we may see it as these guys just don't want to listen, these guys are not caring, but these guys have gone through life and then some. If you look at their life experiences, they had to do stuff that you wouldn't have, would not think. Even getting to this country and staying here, there's certain things that we are not even privy to, and they don't even like sharing, because I say we will see them differently.
That's why I said shout out to the parents, but
exactly.
Like you even you yourself as the stuff that we've done, that when we have kids, like you're not gonna tell them because you just don't want them to know how hard that process. Just the process of doing it, which is something that you just don't want them to see. This is normal.
Hence why, like, even what has become the conversation, or the narrative rather, is we have frustration against them for not allowing us to be who we want to be, and on their side is more so ungratefulness for everything that I've done for you.
You know what it is?
Hold on. Because they're to an extent, there's this whole topic of love language and all that kind of stuff, whereas ours is more on the emotional side in terms of like words of like positivity, encouragement, and all that kind of stuff. Like, you're doing well, I'm proud of you. Even something as simple as I love you in a Ghanaian home is very rare to hear, unless you put it in there yourself. But with them, their kind of love language is providing opportunity that they pay for your school fees. They pay for like the house that you live in. They took you to the good schools and all that kind of
that's
stuff.
different. Yeah.
So why are we? I guess now I'll push to us. Why are we ungrateful in that sense?
Ungrateful.
It's the way that they communicate that to us. They don't sit us down and have this nice open conversation and allow you to bring your issues to the table, or your, you know what I mean, to present like how you want your future to go. It's the way they speak to you. It's the way,
issues do you have?
not issues, but
No, I'm saying that's what they say.
Yeah,
Like,
and-
what issues do you have?
and-
what have you been through?
Yeah.
What do you know?
And
Bro,
that's
you
where
know
it
what
comes
you're
from.
saying.
but that's
That's
the way. It's like
That's where the conflict
it's like they're putting us down. In a sense,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Hence where the resentment comes from. Like I made it, you know, like I did it
so I
on
think-
my own.
yeah, so-
A question I'm going to ask, just for obviously people at home, because they want to know the answer. How do we sort of maneuver our way around to make both our parents happy and us happy, or how do we do it so we don't burn bridges?
We're
We
not
don't burn
compromising
bridges.
ourselves.
What are your experiences that you guys think that you've been through to sort of mold that relationship?
I think when it comes to how we deal with our parents, ultimately in life, everything comes down to respect and education.
Yeah.
The more that they know about what you're doing, the more they will feel secured in you doing it.
I've always said to myself as well, even with my kid, I've said, look, if you want to drop out year 10, drop out. You can drop out year 9, drop out. But if you've got a plan, and you can not even just convince me, if you know that plan's 110%, I'll stand behind you and I'll push you through.
I reckon
But if
that's
you don't,
even if it's not
yeah,
right,
that's this group of parents, right? Like our generation of parents.
But he's just
but
saying-
then Tutu's talking about
How do you?
But
you
do you know why that is? It's because it's transparency. Because our parents, like you said, they've gone through stuff where they're like, and you said we might even go through it, but they've gone through stuff where we know that they're hiding from us because they were not taught to be transparent. But now us, because of the society we live in, everything, bro.
So is it our job to be transparent with our parents?
No,
a little bit.
It's our job to be transparent.
we have to.
We have to be.
They're not going to be transparent.
We have to be.
So you got
So it's our role to be transparent in all relationships. Because that's how, like for example, if you got a missus and you got a business plan and you're not transparent with her, it's not gonna work. Obviously, you're gonna sit down and be like, look, babe, this is what I want to do. That should be the same way a parent is with their kid and the kid with their parent. But unfortunately, our parents weren't like that with their parents, so we have to be like that
with
them.
their needed implant. Yeah, because I even know for the past, probably like I'm 24 now. Going for the past say 6-7 years after school, like I've been open with my mom, so my mom knows everything that I do. Like when I was going clubbing, when I was doing this, when I was doing that, she knew everything. So it puts their mind to ease, like you said, puts their mind to ease that okay, he's doing this, or he's doing that, or she's doing this, she's doing that. So let them know that I know what they're doing. This is their plan. Or even it's as simple as when you're going out. Say you sneak out, your parents are stressing, and you're like, oh, why is my mum blowing up my phone? If she knows what you're doing, she's asleep. When you come
with
home,
age.
So
with
I think
you're right. Yeah,
I think to answering to the question, which I think Junior touched on, I think one of those ways to bridge the gap, and also I think Dylan, you touched on it, was transparency. I think when we can be transparent with our parents, they can be at ease. They don't solve all the issues, but it will at least mean that, like, whether it's, you know, for example, we've talked a lot about education, but there are other things, like even when you're in a job, you know what I mean? They might ask you
all
why.
aspects of life.
Yeah, all aspects of life. I feel like when we're transparent, it will, or when we're open lines of communication with our parents, because they're not going to be open with you. They'll keep watching you. Naturally, our parents will just be like,
And even
keep watching you.
Even from a respect level, it shouldn't be our parents that, in the big sense they should, but it should be us as the children, to the ones that are coming to them.
Sometimes you just got to take the initiative and just...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
It's more so the kid that should be pushing towards, if not for anything, ask your old man a question, ask your mom a question about, okay, might not be specific to what you're doing, but if you look at the bigger picture of what you're trying to do, ask your mom, I'm trying to do something, because let's say if you want to start a business, I'm not starting a business for profit. I'm starting a business to solve an actual problem in the world. So maybe the first couple of years, there may not be that profit that you're looking for, but I want you to know that even in those first couple of years, I know why it's moving the way it is, and it's moving like that for a reason. Later on, I may decide that, now I actually want to make some money out of it. But transparency, openness, education, I think are all big points. Communication are all big points that in terms of bridging that gap. It's not always going to work 100%, and it's not always going to be like when you're transparent with them, they're going to be, oh, let's push you ahead. Because at the end of the day, we're first generation Aussies. They're maybe 100th generation Ghanaians. So they're coming from a school of thought that's worked. It's been refined, molded, adapted throughout the years for the country and environment that they're living in. But we're coming from a lifestyle, a mindset, a movement that's the first of its kind.
Like ground zero.
Exactly, the first of its kind. So obviously there's going to be a lot of potholes. There's going to be a lot of mistakes that we're going to make. And unfortunately, as the first generation, we have to kind of make those mistakes so that our kids, that when we get to the time when we're parenting, they don't have to make as many mistakes as they did. Wise man once said, it's better to learn through lessons than experiences. Not everyone learns through lessons, but it's better. It's better to learn through lessons than experiences.
One lesson I'm taking from this is, in order for us to reach that middle ground with our parents, is just coming to the understanding that whatever you want to do, you can reach that goal, you can get to that goal, but along the way, you're going to have to find a way to be able to let your parents see your vision, buy into that vision, and then support that vision. And there will be difficulties along the way just because of where they're coming from. And I feel like for our generation or our age group and stuff, that's one thing we've been missing. We find it so hard that how have you been in this country for 30 years and still can't see where we're coming from? But then we have to come from this perspective, which we've kind of all talked about, is it's come to a point you just have to understand they're never going to change. So if you don't try and understand them and then make that linkage, well then you're always going to be frustrated. They're always going to be frustrated. And then, you know what I mean? Like you might end up like, with what Yao said, you know what I mean? It even cost him family to some extent. He had to leave the house just so he could get his point across, you know what I mean? So
don't be scared to go out and chase that opportunity. Don't be scared at all. Just keep in mind what you said, Vincent, you know, and just go get it. Just don't be scared.